Hey guys, and welcome to my second live stream. A little bit different setup today. I've already got the stuff out. I've got the parts up here. This is pack 3 and this is pack 4. Hang on, not sure if you guys were hearing that or not, but it looked like my mic was disabled on OBS. So, like I said, I've got pack 3 here. I've got pack 4 here. Here's what I worked on last time. Books open. Got the key box out. Something I missed last time, and I showed it, or I explained it in the video description. The screws that I couldn't figure out what they were for last time were these two screws here. Come on, focus. Yeah, the two screws on the back of the mask here. So I put those in after the stream. So we're ready to start, and also I really love the way Agora is doing this, because this addendum that I mentioned last time that I didn't read is actually to pack 3. What it was is that in the in Europe, when they were releasing this, the fingers, starting with the first one, were really floppy. They did not stick very well. If you moved them into a position and then tilted it to where gravity could affect it, the finger would flop. So what they did is, already in pack 3, this, I'm looking at the wrong camera, this pack of joint pieces was taped to the back of it. So the pieces that actually came with the original kit, we won't be using. We'll be using these instead. And they've actually, as I've been watching the videos that other people have been doing, they've put these little plastic tubes, if you can see that. That's clear. There, that little plastic tube, they've added that to a lot of the joints in the build. But before we get to the build, I've discovered something and added something to my arsenal that I think everybody should, that wants to live stream, that isn't and doesn't have a camera. If you have a smartphone, you have a camera. There's a program out there called Droid Cam. You download it to a smartphone. You download the accompanying software to your computer, and you can actually, OBS will actually recognize the camera, and therefore you can take video with a smartphone. And that is how I'm going to show my shop. As a matter of fact, my shop is freshly refurbished. I've redone this shop multiple times since I moved into it in about the last 3 months. This is the final, because I've got all the tables I can fit in here. I've got workstations all over the place. So let me switch cameras and let you see what it looks like. Okay, look at that. I picked up the cell phone the right way. So it's outside. Right. So we're going to start here first. This is my actual office. This is where I work right now because of COVID. I actually work on Scott Air Force Base, but because of COVID, I'm working from home. I work here or in a room upstairs for the last 6-7 months. This is my main space where I build, and also my video setup. And Kenny, I didn't take your advice on my mic, instead of putting it down low. Second monitor, which actually is where I'm displaying the YouTube video, so I can see what's going on in OBS at the same time. Another build space. This is the rest of the first 10 packs for the T-800. My black girl, she has seen better days. We moved her, and she did not fare well, but she will be built. She will rise again. Got a lot of storage underneath here. This is where I store the in-progress builds and the parts as they come in. This is my current state on the X-Wing from the Agostini. I have, as a matter of fact, let me get it over here. I have some extra parts for it. This is one of 2 aftermarket kits that I'm going to pick up. This is to replace the lighting in the engine and in the cockpit, because instead of having just a single solid glow, These will allow the engine to flicker and for me to change light colors. Both mics. So you guys are getting reverb. Hang on, let me. How's that? Is that better? I might have one on the phone active as well. Okay. I'll have to reactivate the mic when I get back over there. As you can see, also mentioned on YouTube or on eBay, not you, on Facebook the other day. Don't ask me about my paint, because this is not all of it. I've got more in the cabinet over there, another cabinet here, more storage, my Voyager, my Disco Prize, which will be built with all the bells and whistles eventually on the channel. This poor model here has actually been in work for about 7 years. Someday I'll get back to it. Storage, like I said, lots of paint in there. Lots of craft paint. My companion, he hung out in my shop in the front of the house. He's hanging out here. Goofy is here all the time. There's my current black pearl build, patio door, and here's my solder bench. This bench and this cutting mat are very special to me, because when I really started getting back into the hobby 7 years ago, this is the bench, this is the cutting mat. Also, if you can find one, this is an awesome little machine. It's got a heat gun, it's what, a heat gun multimeter and a soldering station all in one. Here's another build area I've set up simply because, as you've seen, I've got multiple builds going all the time. That's what the Ecto 1 looks like right now. I have parts on the way. They just charged my credit card, took this door to the rest of the house, and we're back over to the workstation. Like I said, guys, I think the video is really good on this. And I hope the video from the camera is really good, because I plan on using this camera as part of my arsenal for filming from now on, because instead of being stuck to the computer, I can go anywhere. I've actually taken the camera all over the house and recorded while in OBS while I was doing it, just to see if it would work. So let me switch back to the regular cameras. While I'm at it, I will shut down. Actually, how is the audio? I'm not going to mess with the Droid cam right now. Is it still working? Somebody talk to me. Okay, perfect. So I hope you guys like the little tour of my shop. Oh, I did miss one thing. Let's flip back over to Droid cam 1 minute, because when this was my grandson's room, he had his Lego figures and stuff that he was going to put up. So there, I have shelving for models. The stash will never go up there. The stash has its own. I literally have a bedroom for my stash now. So I don't know. Maybe I just don't know what to do with my time. Thanks, Donnie. I really appreciate it. It took a lot of effort to get it this way. I literally, after doing the rearrangement, moving in the new table and everything, it took me a full week to clean up everything, because I had stuff everywhere. So let's get back to the T-800. This time I'm a little bit better prepared. I've read through the instructions. Last time you saw, I opened the box, and so you guys saw it as soon as I started. Let me get a pair of scissors out for this. I still hate the fact that they cut these off of the boards, or just pulled them off the boards and didn't get really glue when they took them off the packs that I'm from England, because I'm sure that these were on the cardstock that they put them on in England. I don't know if anybody has actually seen those. By the way, Kenny, I expect when you finish your house and work on your garage, you will put me to shame. Okay. So one thing with these, you always are very careful opening these, especially with the small ones that have smaller pieces in them, because I've had to fight the carpet monster for a few pieces here and there. Okay, so these are the original pins, and I will not be using those because of the ones that came with it. Came with the pack, or the external to the pack, and these as well are the original pins. The one piece that I will be using out of here, and let me get a knife. One piece that I will be using out of here is the actual end of the index finger, and that's one of the things that's being built in this tonight in this pack. So first thing it says to do is get this piece here, this barrel, and this, what would be in real life a push rod, and set it in there, along with the one of the two screws. What this is part of the forearm. Matter of fact, or sorry, it is not part of the forearm. It is the bicep right here. And I didn't get out one thing I needed. Hang on just a second, guys. The one problem with putting away stuff is sometimes you forget where you put it. So my handy dandy multiple tip screwdriver will not work because it won't fit down inside there, or it might, but it might get stuck. So a remnant of my R2D2 build is this screwdriver. It should work perfect. So what we do is we'll put that in there. This goes down inside of there. And anytime you're doing any of these part builds from D'Agostini, Agora, Eagle Moss, any of them, it's always good if you have a magnetic screwdriver. The magnetism on this screwdriver is apparently worn off a little bit, but stay. Let's try it that way. Okay, it's down inside there. That's not working. Play nice, screwdriver. I know somebody out there is laughing. I know you have to be. I would be laughing. Okay, but through perseverance, and it's not exactly the way it's supposed to be done, but it works. Now let me get that on there straight. Almost. Okay, and so that's now together. want to make sure, now it shouldn't matter that it is a little bit loose. So now they give us instructions on how to take the screw out and put the batteries into the battery box. Because with the battery box and the tester that came with it, we'll be able to make sure that the lights from last time work. And it just requires 3 AAAs. Most of these things will come with some sort of a power supply so that you can test things as you go along. Unfortunately, the one that didn't was the DeLorean, and when I got to the point where I was able to apply power, I had some short, I had a, not a short, but probably a short, where one of the lights will not turn off. So I don't keep, I've never planned on keeping batteries in it, but it's always on whenever the DeLorean is plugged in. And so, you know, I don't put batteries in it. I'm a little bit disappointed, but overall I did like the DeLorean build. It's just that I got frustrated with Eagle Moss some during that build because they get way behind. So once the battery's in, take the little circuit board here. Where is my static strap? Never know. Anybody who has worked on electronics knows I should have some sort of a static strap on. Plug that in. Let's put you back there so I don't lose you. And then plug in the light and turn on power. And as you can see, the first one eye at least works. So now we'll take the power connector back off and test the other eye. And both of the LEDs in the eyes work, which is awesome. So unplug that, set those over there. And here again in the book, they are talking about, again, about these. They, Hatchet, the original releaser of the kit, I'm pretty sure was really upset that they screwed up that badly, because these fingers were really floppy from what I understand. A lot of people were complaining in England. So what it says to do is take, actually England, France, I think it was released in Germany. They get released over there a lot sooner than they do over here. But they also, that way they also work out the bugs. So it says to lay out these parts. Actually, like that. Key thing is, this is the end of the finger, end of the end of the last knuckle. Small knuckle, large knuckle. This attaches to the actual hand, the palm, eventually. And then these there's a, actually let me get a full set. Come on, focus, there we go. So there's 2 pins in there, one that goes inside the other, and then that plastic sleeve. The plastic sleeve is what's going to give it the friction inside the knuckles, so that it will stay in place, or how is it they put it in the magazine? It will be articulated. So the first thing that needs to be done is as they put in the, say in the magazine, it says to use a cocktail stick. I don't use cocktail sticks. I use micro brushes. Use a cocktail stick, micro brush, what have you, to put a drop of glue. Actually, you know what? This is the perfect time. Instead of using this cheap glue, this is the perfect time. I showed it last time. Let me show you how the glue looper works. Let's see. Nope, not thick. Okay. And just because I wanted to make sure it worked, I bought their glue as well. This is expensive. It's like an $8 bottle of glue, but it works great with the looper. And I've actually got two of them. I've got this one here, and the handles come separate. The handles I bought as well. The handles you don't have to buy. They will fit on just any normal X-Acto blade. But if you look, there's two different sizes of loop there. The larger one is for thick glue, the smaller one is for thin glue. And I'm not going to use it the way you would normally do, which, like I said last time, you would put this, get glue in this, and then set it right against the seam. Instead, I want to set it up on here just to get the glue on. And it uses, to get the glue into the looper, it uses capillary action. I'm not sure. Let's see if it'll focus. Come on. If you can see it from the looper, that little bitty line that heads to the writing, it actually pulls glue in there. And it looks like, yeah, it is dirty. And I don't actually know where my torch is. Give me just a second. The nice thing about this is it's reusable, and the way they have you clean it is pretty cool. Usually you don't use a torch, you would use just a lighter. But as you see, it's burning out the excess glue, and now it's clean. The hole is actually through there, and I can't say enough for this. They sell, this one comes 5 in a kit. This is my first one. I've been using it for about 6-7 months now. Haven't had a problem with it. So now, and this glue is really thin. Just a drop of glue there, and that is a lot. That's enough for a lot of gluing, and there's very little gluing tonight. So I'll drag it through here, and you can see, I don't know if you can or not, but, well, with the eye you can see that there's a little drop of glue, and normally it would be you'd take that, push it against the seam. What I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to run it a few times around the outside of the pin here. That should be enough. And I'm going to just push the knuckle or finger on. And so that should, within seconds, be set for life. Yeah. It's on there good and tight. So once I do that, put these two together like that, and it says to put the larger piece in. It's funny because apply glue to the connector. Huh. I don't think that it's going to need glue, but I'll look and see. But so sleeve goes on. There, I think you can see the sleeve. Oh, you guys have been talking. Yeah, I expect that spends on the glue looper, and no ESD strap. And I agree with you as well, Donnie, that I've never used one, and I've never had any incidents with my electronics. You would think that I would know better though, considering I used to work on airplanes. So, supposed to push through here. Interesting. I think I had it the wrong way because it fits better, or it's tighter this way. And then this pin here, that's a little bit, yeah, that's looser than I expected. So we are going to glue it just so that the joint, I can get too much glue on it and the joint will not move ever again. I'm kidding, guys. It's part of the reason I like the glue loopers, because I can't get that small of amount of glue even on this thing. Come on. So it's staying in place, but will it let me? No, this is not making contact. Okay, I'm going to be dangerous here. I'm dipping it instead. That's really starting to be irritating. It's not picking it, catching at all. Don't look, guys. This could get ugly. Hopefully that'll stay. While I'm waiting for it to stay and stick, let me put the sleeves on these other two. And by the way, guys, if you think about it, there's 3 of these knuckle pieces for 1 finger. 10 fingers. There's going to be 30 of these, and then 10 toes, so that's probably the same on the toes. So there's going to be 60 of these little bitty knuckles that I have to work on. So let's see. That is really getting irritating. Let me see. Try a little bit thicker glue here. So hopefully now I can put this thing in here and not glue the finger in one place. That would really suck. If this doesn't work this time, I'm going to let it be, and I will fix it later. Maybe. Let's see, so, okay. And for some reason, I'm not sure why, as you put the joints together, they have you alternate the side that the plastic lug goes in from. That was not quite down all the way. Odds are that's not going to stay either, so we're going to plan ahead. We're going to put glue down in the hole. Does anybody have any plans for Veterans Day? I'm sure that several of you will be working, but fortunately, because I work for the government, I will be off tomorrow. Okay, good. This one is still not sure about that pin, but it feels like it's going to be good. Because I'm going to be off tomorrow, and because Friday is my normal day off anyway, I will be taking leave on Thursday as well, so I have a 5-day weekend. I am just ecstatic about that. Then this last one, interesting. All right, the last one goes in from this side, from the. See what they did? They put these, the ones with the plastic shim on them, they put them into this piece, the longer knuckle piece. And would use tweezers, but this thing would shoot across the room and I would never see it again. I managed to glue my fingers there for a second. Nothing planned, Spence. Me either. Except for, let me see. I've got X-Wing parts. I've got the aftermarket part for the X-Wing that I've got already, and I've got Ecto 1 parts coming in this weekend. They've all been charged in the last couple of days, so I'll be on. I may not be streaming, but I will be doing several videos at least. Okay, and it appears the finger works. It's articulate and it doesn't fall. And that is step 3, or pack 3. A little bit more complicated than I expected, but I also read through the instructions. I planned ahead this time, guys. Are you proud of me? So on to pack 4. And these, I'm a pack rat. I never throw anything away. I will mark this later. I'll mark what type of screw that is later. There is no rhyme or reason to these yet that I've seen. With a lot of them, D'Agostini, well, not D'Agostini, but Eagle Moss, what they do is that all of their screws, if it ends with a P, so if it's an AP screw, it's for plastic. If it ends with an M, it's for metal. It's actually a pretty good system the way they have it. Don't know that I'll ever need these, but like I said, I always keep them. And if, like I mentioned on HLI today, if I ever scratch build, they'll come in handy for something. Hey Eric, welcome. You're late again. At first, Spence, when you said the chrome issue, I was like, chrome paint? What? Eric, I wouldn't expend too many brain bites on the Chrome issue for the site because I don't think it's the site at all. I think it's a Chrome thing. I don't know if you remember, but when we talked on mine, that the my version of Chrome was already doing some really weird things because what would happen is I would shut it down and it wouldn't restart because it detected it being shut down as a crash, and the Chrome crash handler just never stopped. So I'd have to hit Control Alternate Delete, go into the Task Manager, and actually close the Chrome Chrome crash handler before I could get Chrome to start back up. Yeah, I think Chrome, as good as it is, just isn't as good as it should be. I just realized something, guys. I hope it's not bothering you too much. I forgot to move this. I forgot to move the pad up here to block the glare. Can't help it with those LED lights. So, like I said, on to pack 4. And this one is now what looks like going to be the normal configuration. This is the same type of configuration for opening that every parts build I've done has. It's got locking corners so that when you're pulling it apart, pieces like this, if you're not careful, they're gone. You'll never see them again. And they're really important. So what you end up having to do is call the company, and most of them are really good. I've never had a problem with them sending me replacement parts. It's just that sometimes they take a long time. My Millennium Falcon, I asked them to send me replacement parts. It took 6 weeks. So first parts that we need out of this is we're building another cylinder. Let me go ahead and put the glue looper away. Okay, so these 3, not those screws, those are way too long. And so there are 2 really long, or not really long, but 2 long screws and 2 really short screws. Again, we're going to use one of these. And learning what I did last time, because the magnet has died mostly on this thing, I'm doing it the easier way. Wait a minute. Would help if I would grab the right part. So, doing it the way I just ended up doing it last time, which is I'm going to drop the screw down inside there, get it to come out. And see, if you look, the screw is now protruding from there. So I can find the screw head with a screwdriver and go ahead and screw it on from the other end. Maybe not the exactly right way to do it, but it's the way I did it and it worked. So now we have 2 of these cylinders like that, long one and a short one, and I believe this one actually will go into the wrist. No, actually, oh, okay. More upper arm parts. I actually read through this and I was thinking that was down by the wrist. That's actually upper arm. We will actually finish the upper arm today. Okay, so those little parts I said that would go pinging all over the place are the next thing that we need. And there's I don't know if you can see it, there's an indentation I think it's funny how we all do this. There's an indentation on one side. Doesn't have the indentation as much. This one has an indentation to fit the end of this rod in. The indentation on this side is for the screw. So that just fits on there like that. And let me get out an actual magnetic screwdriver so that I can actually grab a hold of that thing. That's not the nano that's on. Hang on, maybe. Any better, Eric? That's why they give you 2 of those screws. Or extras. Because I think I just lost one. Which would not be that big an issue because I have hundreds of screws left over from builds. So it says to tighten that down, and not like we former aircraft mechanic, you know, I was one, would like to do, which is tighten it down until it's bulging out all over the place. But having read through this, it has to go just to where it's flush, it doesn't stick out, and it's holding the rubber piece in. Because then this goes in, and that will actually, once it's in place, look like a cylinder, an actual working cylinder. And I put it in the wrong one. It goes into the shorter one, the one from the last section. What is it? What is it people say? I make mistakes so you don't have to? Ah. So what you're saying is I'm talking down too often to the table, which is why Kenny said to put it on the table. Uh-huh. That's why it's different from last time. Last time the glass wasn't there. Well, if we think that it might be the glass, you see if I can fix this without doing things like knocking cameras over, losing pieces. I appreciate the feedback, guys, because I want this to be a good experience. I'm having a good time. I want you guys to have a good time. So I want it to be as good for you as it is for me. So, as I talk, just let me know if that has made a difference, because if it has, then I've learned, well, we've all learned something then. Cool. And oh, by the way, guys, this is actually one of my brew. I do some home brew. It's from kits, but this is a 1-to-1 beer. Sorry if you aren't able to partake right now. Okay, so that's tightened back down. Where did I? There it is. That's just not getting as tight as I want it. DeLorean screwdriver here. I'm gonna have to take this one back off, maybe. Maybe, just maybe. This thread's too small for that one. Let's try this one. That's better. Should have grabbed the DeLorean screwdriver in the first place. Yeah, there's Spence. There is a foam cover on the mic. It came with the stand, and the beer is tasty. The only problem with the beer right now that I have is that the bottles that I originally bought are plastic with plastic tops. Works great, almost. It doesn't hold the carbonation, and so that beer comes out of the bottle almost flat. I've taken care of that though. I bought some glass bottles and actual metal caps and a capper, and so the next batch that I brew, which will be on Friday, I'm not sure if I'm going to brew. Don't hate me, guys. It's the season, and I like pumpkin spice. I'm going to brew some pumpkin beer. Either that, or I'm going to brew some lemon shandy, even though we're going into winter instead of summer. So, Eric, here's the funny part. This book, which is 10 packs, which I'll not even be halfway done, is 1 month. With this build, what they're doing is it's a little bit out of the ordinary. Usually, when you do the monthly builds, they're about $50 to $60, and there's 4 packs each month. This one is 10 packs each month, and it's $140 a month. Oh, is that this month? Yeah, you do it monthly. Yeah, and yeah, Eric, I've posted, and I'm going to continue to post up as I find them, places that sell things like this, because they're high-end kits. I'll tell you that right now. You know, I am ecstatic that I can afford them. They are high-end, and some of the companies will let you do even smaller than that, like the DeLorean. The Eagle Moss has a thing where they will let you order 1 pack per 1 week, per month, whatever. You can it's up any quantity from 1 to 8, and it's 1, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 4 weeks. Okay, so there's that one. This one goes on the other one. So yeah, what you want to do is, the other thing you want to do is you want to catch them on a sale. I started the X-Wing late, and so what I did was I caught them on a sale. They have Model Space or D'Agostini will have sales all the time, and what I've got is, instead of the $129 a month that they would charge me, which is I believe that's including shipping, I got 20% off, so it's costing me $103 or $113 a month for 2 months. So if you caught a sale like on the X-Wing, you'd probably get in around $55 to $60. Link to, yes, it's on the, it is on HLI. This is Agora Models. They have several kits that they have out there that they're selling. This one is, like I said, I want to say it's $138 a month. What I did, because I had the cash laying around on my PayPal, was I bought the first 4 months at one time. That way, instead of building this for a year, I'm only going to be building it for 8 months. So, this is the exact same as the other one. Little rubber washer goes on here like this. Small screw. And this time I have a magnetic screwdriver. They also have one on there. If anybody is a World War II buff, I look at this one and I'm like, oh my God, I think I have to have it. They have the Bismarck 1/200th scale. It's gonna be, I'm watching somebody build it. It's about 4.5 foot long. And it's metal. It's all metal. It's got lights. It's got motors. Highly suggest, if you're interested in any of these, to go over to Agora Models and take a look at them. They have some pretty good videos. They also have links to videos of people building them. What you need to do is, like, Kenny, you're kind of established in the community. What you would be able to do is maybe get in touch with them, because I keep hearing from people who are building them, from videos, that they're getting them comped. They get them free because they're building, they're YouTubing the videos, which is in turn free advertisement. So apparently I tightened that one too much, because it went right through. So let's try this again, and hopefully it won't go right through again. Because that would suck if this little rubber part gets stuck down inside the arm. It's not going to matter that much though, because once it's on there, it won't come off again. Okay, so we now have two what look like actual hydraulic cylinders. And this part from last time gets these two little pieces here. Actually, they have it. Okay, they have it laying like this. Yeah, two little pieces. This gets set off to the side until the end of this part. Those are just going to be shock absorbers, basically, or friction. It's going to give it friction to hold in place. And then okay, so take. This is where it should all be coming together, and okay, those screws. This goes here. Says to put this one here. I see what they were talking about. Okay, so what on the back side here are screw holes. You set this on here, and that is supposed to go onto the screw. The screw is going to fall straight out if I do that. What they do suggest is putting the screws through from the back side and then taping them in. I just need to figure out which ones are which, because there are two sizes of screws left. This is the 20 millimeter and 16 millimeter. Okay. This is something they also do, most of them do really well, is that they give you one screw plus a spare. And on this one at least, and the several others, they give you the screws, all the screws you need in that pack. On the Millennium Falcon, they gave you screws ahead of time. They gave you little metal brackets ahead of time. So 2 or 3 issues down the road, you're sitting there going, if you didn't keep those screws, you're done. You can't do anything. You have to order new ones. So let me get a piece of tape, like it says, because I see how this is going to work. So what I'm going to do, anybody who's prior military, especially flight line, I'm deviating from tech data. I'm putting in both screws at the same time. I agree, Spencer. I agree. This one doesn't come with the tools to put it together. The DeLorean, this is a screwdriver from the DeLorean. The DeLorean came with 3 screwdrivers. The Millennium Falcon came with a screwdriver. The Ecto one has a screwdriver that is not worth the metal it's made out of. I mean, it's a tiny little piece of crap. They come with it. Most of them come with a screwdriver that you need for it. Why do I have a feeling? No. They come with a screwdriver you need for it. This is the first one I've found that doesn't come with a screwdriver that you need. Why is that threaded on the bottom side? That looks so strange. Okay, back to where this slides on there. That one slides on there. Why does that feel like it should be closing further? Okay. This will slide in here. Maybe. Yeah. And see what these black rubberized pieces are for is to leave this free to turn once this goes over top. Okay. This will slide down on here like so. Pick up the whole thing. Hang on. It's not doing a very good like so. Okay, something tells me I've got these in here wrong, even though I was looking at their pictures. Yep, they will be coming out with a pulse rifle. I don't know how much it's going to cost. I do know that I don't care how much it's going to cost unless it's like $100. I have to have it for this thing. Supposedly, according to the documentation I have, you can't get the pulse rifle if you're not buying the kit. It's almost like that cap is in there is not big enough. No, it shows it that way. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I do not know what was holding it up, but I'm ready to push down with it on it with all my weight, and it's just in there like it's supposed to be. One thing too, guys, I have realized about this. I don't know if everybody else does this, but I look at when I build a plastic model, I look at pictures. I look at pictures. I don't read very much. If there's anything to read, I usually ignore it, and I put the thing together in the way I want to put it together. There are some serious times that you have to read this, otherwise it's not gonna fit. So, voila, we have a upper arm. So upper arm, got the face. I love putting this on here. Even though it's not done, I love it. Love storing him like this instead. I think that just looks so cool. I cannot wait until I get to the point of putting the black behind the eyelid or eyes in there. So that's it. That's as much as I planned on doing today, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. So is there anything you guys want to talk about, or because I've got nothing but time. On I don't know if you guys noticed, but I counted it today because I do another part. That will probably be tomorrow, Eric. Either that or maybe some on the Voyager. Oh, the storage drawers? I want to say I got them from Walmart. Either Walmart or Sam's Club. They're out there on Wayfair has them. Those are another thing that I picked up a long time ago. Those things are probably, the short one that's right here is probably 10 years old. Picked it up. It was in my garage in California, and you know they're really good until you put any kind of weight into them. Because when you start getting any kind of weight into them, what will happen is the metal will scrape here and here. You'll end up with little. I'm pointing, showing you stuff, and I can see it, but you can't. It'll scrape here and here. You'll end up with little shavings everywhere. And they will drop, because they flex, they will drop down on top of the other drawers. but they are fantastic for storing a lot of stuff. So anybody else have any questions, comments, suggestions? I am open to suggestions because this, you know, like you guys know, this is my second live stream. And Eric, you and I are going to sit down on a phone sometime. You know, we're going to do a FaceTime or something like that. And I'm going to teach you how to light a model. I don't want to be the only one that's got 40,000 LEDs and doesn't know when to put them in. How about no? So, yeah. I actually might have something for you though, Eric. Do you have a solder station? Because that's the first thing that you have to be able to do LEDs. Is you got to be able to solder them. And because I think I've got a spare one out in the garage somewhere. You don't have anything yet. Tell you what. Send me your address. You know, and PM me on HLI. If I have the spare and if I can convince my wife not to kill me, I will probably send you my spare because you saw the one I have now. I thought that's what you meant, Donnie. I agree. So do I. Yeah, we do. What I should do is maybe do a video or two to pop onto the site and show, because, well, I'll be honest, I learned a lot watching Boyd's videos. I'll tell you right now, Eric, probably with the size of the disco prize, if you can afford the entry fee, you should buy the lighting kit instead of trying to do it yourself, because that's a really small kit to try and light. My first lighted kit was my Titanic. My second lighted kit was my NX01. The Titanic I lit with Christmas lights, a little battery box with Christmas lights. The NX01, I bought a kit from Monsters in Motion and added lights to it, and that's where I learned. And Disco Prize, the lighting kit, matter of fact, how about an impromptu, I don't know, have you, everybody seen the Disco Prize? I'm sure, but if you guys don't mind, I'm going to do an impromptu out of the box for the lighting kit so that Eric can see what's in it. And actually, you guys can too. What'd you say, Don? That I could. I should do that. Do either a stream or a video of the Voyager when I do the lights in it, because I haven't done the main lighting. All I've done, matter of fact, I'll bring it when I bring over the Disco Prize. All I've done on it is the engines. This is the state of my Voyager, and she is not yet, it's not glued yet, but I love the way the nacelles came out. And then I still have to do the lights internal for here. I've got lights in here. I didn't think about it until after I had already done it. I'll do it. I will do it, Eric. But I didn't think about it until after I had glued it down, and it's going to be interesting keeping the paint from screwing up my impulse engines, because my impulse engines, I put hot glue in for diffusion. I love it how it worked out. It's really good looking. I just need to make sure I mask it off. So, I don't know if you guys have seen this or not. I'm pretty sure you have. This is the lighting kit for the Disco Prize, and this is everything that comes with it. Everything that comes in here, like the parts, the colored parts here, these are all in the main kit. They're just not in color. You got the nacelle end caps here. You got some little lenses here. The side, the chiller grills for the warp engines, the impulse engines, and the caps. And then along with that, this is why I bought the kit. Truly, these little motors are why I bought the kit, because I want spinning Bussards on my 1/1000th scale NX01, or not NX01, but Disco Prize. This is the heart and soul of the kit, because it is. We all know, those of us who solder. I agree, Donnie. Masking fluid is my friend. But this is just nothing more than just a bunch of wires, basically, for spreading the lights. And then all these lights go throughout the kit. In the kit itself, and I know I'm going through this pretty quick. Inside the kit itself, it already has the spots for all the LEDs, which is why on a 1/1000th scale, this would be a good one to light, because usually the lighting is going to be really cramped. And so it's got all the lights in here. It's got brackets. You just pop them in there. I love this because I don't know any other way other than having the brackets already there you could light that section the way it's lit. Vallejo. You didn't see the picture of my Vallejo masking fluid, did you, Donnie? It was a Vallejo masking ball. Yes, Eric, it's all plug and play. This would be a good lighting kit to start with. This would be a good kit to light using this, or the Disco Prize would be a good kit to light using the aftermarket kit from Polar Lights, because it comes with everything. The NX01, when I lit it, I bought it from Monsters in Motion. They have a Bussard light kit, and they have a light kit for the 1/350 scale NX01, and that's how I lit it. It's, it's got spinning Bussards, but it didn't have near the lights it needs. I agree, Donnie. Actually, what I'm thinking about doing also is I've heard that you can use white glue as masking fluid. My only concern is, back here, and I also forgot I have the photo etch. Not a problem, Eric. I have the photo etch that goes in here. It's not in there, so I'm going to figure out how. It's not the only piece that I forgot to put in when it was supposed to go in. But this, I think, will work really well for in there. It is, Donnie, but supposedly between the original series and the 2009 Star Trek, somehow the Enterprise grew, so that 1/500 scale is about the same size as 1/350. So, anything else you guys want to talk about? It's very quiet out there. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Hey, Eric, I resemble that remark. But I have to say I'm extremely proud of myself, since in the last year I've lost 50 pounds. Thank you. And it's kind of funny because the reason I lost the weight is because I'm no longer constrained to 3 meals a day. You know, you'll hear people say eat 5 or 6 meals a day, and I do, but they're not full meals. They're just I'm hungry a little bit, I grab a little bit to eat. And water. Next to my beer, I have this big thing of water. I drink water all the time. Oh, you mean the disco prize? Search video or YouTube for the Enterprise D and how much space it actually has, because it's rather surprising how much space there really is inside of these ships. Now, they show the saucer, and they got this little square up in the front where all 1,100 crew members fit. So, okay, guys, I am going to call it a night. Hang on. Which one? The TOS? Yeah, the TOS had a crew complement of, I believe it was 365. I think it fluctuated throughout the series, the original series, between 385 and 365. Not that I've watched Star Trek a lot. My ex-wife, it used to drive her nuts because back when Star Trek was first in syndication in the late 70s, early 80s, when we got married in about 83, we got a TV and it was in syndication and it was on it was on every night, Monday through Friday on NBC. And we would turn it on, and within 30 seconds, and 30 seconds was a long time. It was usually within the first 5 seconds, I was like, I know this one. That's true. I mean, so do I. But do you, Spence, own Enterprise? So many people hated Enterprise, and I loved it. No answer. Oh yeah, especially when they went to the mirror universe. That was awesome. What was his name? The name Spot came to mind, but that's Data's dog. Come on, Eric. You know what? You brought him up. What was the dog's name? Enterprise was really good, but I think what hurt them was when they went into the Expanse and, got into the episodic single story. Hang on. Where is it? I can't do it on the computer. It's Greek. Porthos! That's right. Could have said it was one of the Three Musketeers, too. All right, guys. I'm going to call it a wrap. I will be on. I will at least video, if not be on live stream again this weekend. I'm also gonna spend some quality time with my PS4. Thanks, Eric. You guys all have a great night. Have a great holiday tomorrow, especially if you're off. If you have the week, if your weekend starts like mine today, have a great weekend. And I will catch you on the flip side. I will talk to you next time I stream. Have a good one. Out here.